Hello and welcome to a new video on the HKCM Global channel. My name is Philip. Today I will be taking a look at the Microstrategy stock. So Michael Saylor's big strategy, is it working out? Is it not working out? Where are we going? Will it outperform Bitcoin, or is it maybe perhaps even an indicator that Bitcoin has already topped out? Those are the topics we are going to be speaking about in this video today. But first of all, as always, if you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel, leave a like and leave a comment as well. Highly appreciate it. So MicroStrategy, in a nutshell, for those who are not familiar with the stock or with the company, MicroStrategy has been around for quite some time. It's a fairly old company. It emerged from the basically new economy tech bubble around the late 90s, early 2000s. Then suffered a devastating crash. The company, I don't know what they have been doing in the time, but they were practically out of business for most of the time. So the stock was basically on its knees all the time. There was nothing happening, and then Michael Saylor had the ingenious idea of buying Bitcoin within the company, and things started to move. So basically, let's say they missed out on the first rise around 2018. The stock was still in demise, but then starting from April of 20, the stock soared to new all-time highs, and to new highs for a long time. Not an all-time high yet. Then completely crashed back down with the Bitcoin in September, until September, October of 22. And since then we have seen another rise, and finally also a new all-time high compared to the highs from the 2000s. Ever since it has formed the high in October 24, the stock has been, November, end of October, beginning of November, ever since the stock has been within a corrective structure. And we have seen, quite a reset in price, and the stock was not able to replicate Bitcoin's performance. So if we look at the Bitcoin chart, looking at the highs that have been formed around October, November, December, around this time here, then Bitcoin came down into the 75,000 area, has ever since recovered, has formed a new all-time high. So basically MicroStrategy topped at the same time as Bitcoin. The correction has been a lot stronger in terms of, let's just look at the percentage drop here from the high to the low. So Bitcoin lost approximately 33%. MicroStrategy lost a whopping almost 60%, so almost double of what the Bitcoin lost. Now there will be people saying, it's leveraged on Bitcoin. It's basically, you're basically taking up leverage on the Bitcoin by buying MicroStrategy. I don't know, could be the case, but matter of fact, the correction has been much more significant in the MicroStrategy stock than it has been within the Bitcoin. And ever since, Micro was also not able to recover its all-time high. So at the moment, we have to consider that MicroStrategy has already formed a high within its wave one in November of 24, and has ever since started its corrective move within a possible wave 2 scenario. So basically the same scenario I'm also expecting within the Bitcoin, that the Bitcoin has either already started or will start soon a wave 2 correction before it will then push on within wave 3. So Micro is definitely still within this correction. We have not seen a breakout above recent highs, and we have also not seen a breakout above levels that would also then signalize that it could not be an overshooting B wave anymore. So for the moment, we still have to expect this thing at some point to top out again and come back down to lower lows here. Another thing that I find very interesting compared with the Bitcoin is the fact that also within the last high that was formed, when Bitcoin first topped out in, let's go on the Bitcoin chart here, when we topped out here around March, April, Micro topped out even earlier. We had already seen the top. Let's go on the monthly candle as well, making this a little easier. So Micro already topped out in February. It did not recover its all-time high. It recovered some parts of the drop to the downside, but it didn't recover the all-time high, and then dropped to a new low. So for now, just to remember, this is what the situation looked like back then in Bitcoin. We dropped, we recovered, made a new high, and then saw another sell-off. So this is at the moment, I'm expecting a similar scenario. Topped out over here, first drop, recovery, new all-time high, and then another drop to the downside. This could be the scenario, and at the moment, MicroStrategy is playing it the same way it used to play it in the past. It has already topped out earlier than Bitcoin, is not making new highs at the moment, although it should be actually making new all-time highs at the moment, just given the fact that now its Bitcoins are also worth more than they used to be before. Yeah, they have continued buying, so they have more Bitcoin, and they have, yeah, they are worth more. So the stock, just putting the things together, should be worth more. It is not happening at the moment, at least not so far. So for now, I'm sticking with the expectation that we are seeing a B wave and there will be another drop. One scenario we have to take a look at in the overall perspective is that if we are not willing to count this move, because it can also easily be counted as a three-way move, so basically a corrective move, we could also be expecting that all of this has been a B wave and wave 2 has never completed. So this would be leading to a much more significant drop, or it could lead to the fact that overall we have to accept the fact that MicroStrategy is not really trending in terms of Elliott wave, so that it's not within a 5-wave long-term impulsive structure, but it is just moving within corrective patterns, and yeah, we'll see corrections similar to the ones in the past where it just loses like 90% of its value. That things like that happen all over again. We're seeing similar things with commodities that are not trending, so this could also be the case with a stock, especially in this case, because so far in the past and all the developments around MicroStrategy, it has not been able to, in over 30 years, been able to establish a long-lasting upward trend. So this is a question that has to be answered in the future, especially depending on how markets, how the stock will react to the current market situation, how this sell-off will play out. But for the moment, I'm definitely still expecting this to top in a B wave. It could form a new high, absolutely possible, but then drop back down. And if things play out the way they played out with the last correction, then Micro will not at all form a new all-time high and will be rejected earlier. And then we're going to be dropping within the C wave to new lows. Yeah, so this is the current expectation from the charts, and also in relation to the Bitcoin. Let's also take a look at the indicators, also very similar. Starting here out with the daily chart, we are seeing also clear divergences on the daily compared to the highs that have been formed, especially with the MACD here at the moment. On the lower time frames, stock has been overbought. So expecting a near-term sell-off here coming over from the 8-hour. If we zoom out weekly, yes, it crossed back up. Yes, we are still within positive momentum. But if we go back in time to the way things played out over here, we are seeing, of course, on lower levels, but basically similar structures coming down, crossing back up, and then being crossed back down again and crashing basically. So everything is playing along the same playbook as it used to be with MicroStrategy, and so we will have to still expect this to play out the same way it did the last time. 2 week losing momentum, no new highs here that have been formed. Yeah, so basically the high in the MACD was formed after the real high has been hit. Yeah, we crossed down. We try to cross back up. Now it's trying to cross back up in the MACD. So we have to see how this plays out. But this would all still be absolutely aligned with the B wave scenario that we have as a primary at the moment. Monthly hasn't done much yet, but this will need time and this will need much bigger impact in order for it to cross to the downside. So we will see, because if we look at the last correction, it also took quite some time. It took until December of 21 for the MACD then to finally cross to the downside on the monthly. So this can still take a while, and there will probably be some significant downside seen until the monthly will show a clear sell signal here. Yeah, so all in all, to sum it all up, expectation is, yes, we still have some upward potential at the moment. I'm not expecting it to break out to new all-time highs. I'm still expecting everything that's happening now to be part of a correction, lower lows to be seen. So everything basically very similar to the Bitcoin. And we'll see how this holds up over the next few weeks. This can still take some time. I'm not expecting this to be happening overnight, but coming September, October, months of the year. So this would be ideal. And we will also see how far Micro is more following the Bitcoin, or is it more in the fellowship of the NASDAQ index, and yeah, just behaves more like a stock rather than the Bitcoin itself. Yeah, thanks for listening. See you next time, and I hope you enjoyed the video.